All right, folks, we got some people coming out. It's a really slow day, guys. When I mean really slow, I mean really slow. All right, we're gonna see who comes back late in the day. These people, okay. I don't know when. I think next weekend is Regatta weekend. I think. I have to ask the party people that come to Black Point. Too wild. This guy should know. All right, we got some folks coming back, guys. It's a quiet King Tide day. All right, speaking of King Tide, dude, I posted a video on here. I don't understand. I'm almost waist deep in water right now. It's higher than it's ever been, at least from what I remember. We do have a moon incoming. All right, these guys in the Dons are coming back. Looks like it's a young captain. Too Wild is leaving on the right, but we're gonna stay here with this captain. Not a lot of current right now, guys. High tide usually gets people a little bit more comfortable because they don't see the dock and they don't really crash into stuff because you don't see everything that's under you, you know? Oh boy, what's going on, Captain? Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Relax, you got this. All right, he's gonna come and do this all over again. All right. Not a lot of current, okay? Not a lot of current right now. Okay, I think Pop's got the helm now. I think he's teaching him. Yeah, he said what you needed to do was, and then whatever he's gonna tell him now. All right, we got a little rib. Dímelo. Look at this beautiful little rib boat.
Alfred.
What's up, guys?
We fixed it there, by the way.
At Reliable?
Yeah.
So I just finished a restoration on one yesterday.
At Luxury Rib Tenders.
That luxuryribtenders.com.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, it's incredible. You got to see that final video on that one. What boat is that? What model?
It's a Nautica 14 Deluxe.
14 Deluxe. Look at that. All right. Hey, man.
Yeah, we took it to the Luxury Rib Tenders.
Good, bro. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So they went to Reliable. LuxuryRibTenders.com is my website for those that don't know. That's where my hats are. That's where all my stuff is. All right, this is good. I'm going to be interesting here. So that's a 14 Deluxe. Here's a little. You want to know a little funny thing? That same mold, we have it at the shop for that boat. We actually have a boat that we did just to shell, brand new, in COVID. And we never finished it. All right, let's see what's going on with Pops. Pops is under control right now. He's teaching the son. I'm assuming it's the son, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But this is nice to see that, like, usually the parents always mess up and the kids always actually rescue them, so. But yes, I did finish that series, guys. The Nautica 15 wide body restoration. Wow, dude, let me tell you, that was a very difficult series for me to film. There's a lot that can happen with used boats, but in the end, we had a boat that went 49 miles an hour with a 90 Suzuki from Reliable. And it's on the page, guys. You'll see it. Look for it. And I have a lot of restorations. Oh boy, come on, Dad. This is your moment to go ahead and show him. This is how you do it. And the tide is just gonna keep on getting higher. All right. The kid doesn't feel that bad anymore. He's like, damn, my dad did the same thing. So if he backs out completely, he did exactly what his kid did. So those two came out of the same pocket. You know what pocket we're talking about? We can't say it. You guys want to talk about cheese? I'll talk about some cheese. I'll give you some cheese. You know you want to ask some questions. I'll go ahead and I'll tell you some cheese. I know you guys are a bunch of chismosos. The last time I was here, I was excited about going to a boat show and I got thrown out. And it is what it is. It happened. But I don't think it was the boat show's fault, right? I think the boat show was led to, oh boy, come on, Pops, you got this. Don't touch the back, Pops. He's got it. Oh boy. Everybody's coming in. All right, the boat show was told something by someone. This is allegedly, this is my assumptions based on how everything transpired. Speaking of how it all transpired, check out Andres' Perfect Fit Boating because he broke it down perfect. I just showed you guys what happened. He broke it down what, when, and where. Whatever, we go in, we're excited, we went into the thing, we drove 5 hours away. We actually stopped at an event by another YouTuber that we've done some collaborations with to surprise him, because why not help a fellow YouTube guy and show him some love? And that YouTuber is Dear Meat for Dinner, or Robert Arrington. So Robert was at a place called Down the Hatch in close to Daytona, and the place is awesome. First of all, let me say the place is awesome. The food was awesome. The ambiance, everything was just cool. It's a cool place. And when I saw that Robert ended up putting that, hey, we're gonna be here, come out. It was a nice open invite. I saw that they were gonna have East Cape boats there as well. So I was like, yo, East Cape boats. I love Kevin and all his team, and I'm a big fan of their boats. I hadn't ridden on any of their boats until that day. I did a sea trial on the 25 that they had. Great, everything was golden. I surprised Sarah when I came off of the boat. I was literally filming and she was just there, and she's all bubbly and always fun. So they're just great people, right? So we're excited. We're like, okay, cool, that was cool. We were able to get a little sea trial for some content with East Cape. We said hello to the Arringtons. We saw some of the people that recognized us there. And then we went to the boat show. Oh my goodness. Then the boat show cometh. So we're excited. First thing we come into the door, somebody, says, hey, how you doing, this and that. What are you guys filming for? And we're like, oh no, we're YouTube guys. We just want to film the boat show, kind of bring it to our community, yada, yada, do all that stuff. The person was like, hey, cool, no worries. But you're not the news, right? Well, no, we're not the news. I actually thought, and if you look at Andy's channel, Andy Jones from the Menorcan Mullet, because he was with us too. It was me, Andres, and Andy Jones. The world famous Andy Jones. So Andy was like, when we got stopped, we told him what we told him, which was the truth. And then I'm looking back as they're escorting us around to show us some of the boats, because I guess he was excited to show us some of the boats. And then he said, oh, this is a brand new boat that's being unveiled at this show. The most expensive boat in was the Solus. And I know Ryan Doherty and Sarah Doherty and Stephen Doherty. So I was like, let's go. We got a small show. We show little, smaller companies. And yeah. So there's a company called ALK that Andres really wanted to go ahead and see, because as soon as we walked in, we were scouting the whole place where to start, and we see that they had boats for under $40,000. And right now, oh my God, look at the size of that snook. Do you guys see that down? Oh, you don't see nothing. You don't have no hooks on. What a snook. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Oh God, that was a huge snook. Guys, I'm past knee deep in the water, by the way. So we're looking for budget content boats, right? Like, we know it's tight for a lot of people. And like, people want to get on the water. So we get that. Okay, Wild Child is coming out. The Wild. So that was cool. That was like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and do it. Let me go ahead and talk over the Two Wild. All right, guys. All right, let me talk around the clock. All right, so listen. I think you can go ahead and verify a lot of what I'm saying with the other videos, because it's gonna all make perfect sense now. I'm just telling you what. Oh boy, let me get up. Oh no, I'm getting waked out. Hold on. I gotta go up, guys. I gotta go up. All right, guys, I'm knee deep in the water, bro. Well, I'm actually past knee deep. I'm 6'5", 225. I need to be 6'8" right now. All right, let me get back in the water. Shoot. Do you hear that? Oh my goodness. No consideration for the Montana. All right. Relax, guys. Well, if we get a crunch, we're gonna still crunch it. This is happening as it's happening. So we see those boats, cool, everything is good. We found a location to go ahead and do an intro. I go ahead and I put the camera ready and I start doing the intro. And then as soon as we do the intro, somebody recognized Andres. And Andres, if you don't follow him, his channel is called Perfect Fit Boating. And he helped me a lot with that dinghy, similar to the one that we just saw, right? So, and I'm extremely grateful for that. He really did help a lot, and he contributed a lot, and he'll have some videos on his channel about that dinghy itself, so you can see how much he participated, right? So we get in there, and somebody just gets into our camera and basically tells us all, "Hey, are you guys here to trash all our boats?" Something to that effect. And I'm like, oh boy. I really never have filmed like a show with other people like that, right? So, and I don't watch people's content. So I've never seen, to this day, I still haven't seen Andres' video. I know what it's about. And because of how he's shown things on his channel, I think it's good for the industry to show, hey, this is one thing, this is another thing, based on what you pay. You can't expect to pay, $20,000 for a brand new boat and it'd be like $150,000 boat. That's just unreasonable, right? So in that context, like I said, I haven't seen the video. Depending on who you ask, some people say it's harsh, some people say it's actually what we want to know. Whatever, that's hearsay, whatever. So then I'm like, oh boy, let me try to de-escalate this. We're not here for none of that, guy, but that's not. So then, and mind you, this guy came into our camera. He knew that we were filming because he was kind of like moping around. If you look at the video, he was just moping around. I was like, oh boy, this is not good. So then that happened. And I was like, all right, well, I got to leave my camera on the whole time because Chit's going to go down. And you know how Chit's going to go down and people say one thing and the camera tells the other. Then people say, hey, you can say whatever you want, but the camera said that. You know what I'm saying? So we're far away from home. We don't have any friends or anything or anybody in the area. So we're like, okay, this might get interesting. So nothing. I was just like brushing it off. I was like, hey, whatever, bro. I'm here to work. I just want to film the boats, go back, get the content. We're already, making some moves to kind of film what we want to film. And then I get a call from Andy Jones. Because what I didn't hear while I was filming, they said, the 4 YouTubers that are here at the boat show, please come to the thing, you lost something, or something to that effect. So I'm like, oh boy. I already made my own assumption. I kind of knew what had happened. I was like, oh boy, this is what happened. This is what's happening now. So, all right, well, whatever. It is what it is. It's going to happen. We're going to be asked to shut our cameras down. That's what I thought. I was like, all right, no problem. We won't show you guys what's going on. Then Andy calls me and I'm live and I'm me. I don't cut the camera. I'm a lazy YouTuber, guys. I don't want to cut. I don't want to do edits. All of a sudden, Andy goes, first thing out of his mouth, "It's a trap." I was like, what the hell is Andy talking about? I thought it was nothing. I was like, all right, well, we're here. We're good. And he goes, "It's a trap." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Oh, they're calling us to go up and this and that." So I was like, oh man. So in the video I already was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a Chit show, dude. What a scene. So I was already like, damn, bro, we just drove 5 hours to come over here to go ahead and give some exposure to some of these manufacturers. Personally, guys, that does not make me money. Okay? I need the industry. I can have a video that pops off and it'll make me money, but it's unlikely for that to happen now. Right? It's just unlikely for that to for me personally, right? I'm not saying it doesn't. Remember, we make money based on the ads that are put on, based on the views, right? You guys, when you click it, you're like, Alfred's not a freaking Black Point. I don't want to click on this thing. So that's why you're actually here, because you thought I was at the boat room. You thought there was a chit show, and there wasn't a chit show. It's just me telling you exactly what happened. These kids are looking and they're like, oh shoot, what's going on here? So we get shut down. They're like, hey, turn off the cameras. First thing I thought was, like, damn, I'm gonna get arrested, bro. This is gonna be bad, bro. So there's a running joke down here in South Florida. The minute you leave or go higher than West Palm Beach, things change. If you're me or someone like me. It's a joke. I don't believe it personally, but I was like, oh, bro, this is not good. So when we actually got asked to leave, I had my shoes off, because what's the first thing you do when you have your shoes off? You take them off to be respectful to the people who are at the show. And we asked the people, hey, you mind if we jump on? You know, all depends on what's going on. You guys have seen my walkthrough videos. I've done walkthrough videos at boat shows around the world. Speaking about boat shows, there's one coming up right now, and it's called Flibs. And I can't wait for it. So, long story short, we get asked to leave. I was like, wow, wait a second. Look at this little thing, guys. Why leave? Like, dude, like, we haven't done anything wrong. We got walked in. We got stopped in the beginning. Someone that is allegedly the assistant director to who was at that show said, all right, go do what you got to do, guys. You know, he didn't say you can't do it, you got to leave, or you can't film and then just watch a show. Sorry about that. He didn't say that. So we're like, okay, cool. This is cool. We're going to just show love to all these manufacturers. Guys, it's really, really, really slow in the boating industry. When I tell you slow, I'm telling you, be careful, because you might lose deposits. That's how slow it is for certain manufacturers. You heard it here, okay? So when I see that, somebody that's in the industry, I say, oh my goodness, I got to make sure that we're actually telling people what's going on, right? Oh boy, this guy's gonna jackknife over there. I don't know, Chit show, wait for it. Oh boy, somebody's coming in hot too. So when I hear stuff like that, and I'm like, I mean, these shows might be the difference between somebody staying in business or not, or getting bought out by another business. I don't know. That, and to that effect, I don't know completely. But I hear things, because remember, I'm in the industry. I got a big email, and people tell me things all the time, right? So, okay, talk to me behind the scenes out there. Who's going out of business? All right, well, whatever. That's not the point. It's hard out there right now for a lot of people, and I know, don't call me asking me questions. So, oh shoot, this guy's gonna wake me up, bro. Are we gonna get a chit show in the house or what? So as I'm getting my shoes, what happened, and I didn't see on camera, is the actual director, because I walked away from her, right? I walked away from that individual because my shoes were behind a bait liner I had just filmed. She says on camera, are we gonna have to call security? And when I heard that, I didn't see that or experience that at the moment. I was just getting my shoes. I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'm gonna call this for a loss, and it is what it is. I go home, and whatever. We'll go back to down the hatch. We'll continue the festivities that was happening with Robert Arrington and his people. And remember, Robert has nothing to do with this, so please don't bring him into this mess. This is my mess. I'm just telling you exactly what happened and how it all materialized, so that you guys can see later how it all materialized. So when she said that, I was like, wow. Like, after the fact, when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's pretty rude, dude. And then when we were walking outside, we see the gentleman who actually asked us the question of if we were there to trash boats. And I was like, yo, this is terrible, bro. Whatever. So he looked like he was kind of gloating and all that good stuff. And I was like, oh shoot, this is bad. I felt bad. I really did. I felt bad. You know, because anytime anybody uses the power of someone else's force to go ahead and shut you down or shut your mouth or anything, I have a problem with that, guys. I like freedom of speech. I really do. I don't know about you guys, but me, when I was here and I was In COVID, when all you guys were at home and I was here talking and doing and walking shows, when everyone was scared to go out, Alfred was out there showing you guys boats. I was the one. It was me. I was doing walking tours in 2020 when everybody was scared to go out, and I was telling you, you'll be okay. So I was upset. And I was like, man, this is crazy. So whatever, we leave, we go back. Oh, well, right before we leave, I see the guy in question. And then, I wanted to just kind of like diffuse the situation and be like, hey, it didn't have to get to this point. I saw the smirk. I saw see what happened. I got you, didn't I? And then I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. I thought nothing of it, but I told him, I said, you know why I said this? I said this because I know the power of you guys, okay? And I never use the power of my influence, but my camera is very powerful. It's super powerful, guys. My camera is very powerful. And you guys don't see everything my camera films because of how powerful my camera is all the time. And just know that. So I understand and respect the power of the imagery that comes behind this camera and what I say, when I say it, how it can affect people in a good or a bad way. And my intention is never to hurt anybody in a negative light, even though I've been attacked left, right, a lot. It happens. Hey, it comes with the territory. I get it. One of the reasons I don't put my family on this show is because of that. I don't want you guys attacking my family. They're not used to the Chit show that comes with Alfred Montaner and what I deal with. So I said, hey, listen, it didn't have to come to this point, something to that effect. And I said, you made a big mistake. And the grin was still there, and I was like, I'm going to say one last thing. I want you to hear this. And I said these words. I said, don't call me tomorrow. Don't call me tomorrow. That's the final words that I said when I was really upset. I felt, how can I say? I felt like you shouldn't feel being an American that was born in this country. And, my father served in the U.S. military, and, like I felt so bad. And I rarely feel that, right? Because I just don't. And then we walked out of there. We did the video, what we did. Oh, I just heard somebody say, you want to take a picture with him? I think somebody's going to come back here right now. It's kind of serious, but I'm sorry, guys. Listen, I needed to tell you guys what was going on because it's been really weighing on me, So we went outside, we talked what we talked, and the video's on there. You guys can see the actual video yourself. Then from there, we went back to down the hatch where the Arringtons were and the East Cape boats were there doing their sea trials, and the people down the hatch were super hospitable. I can't tell you how, it was like 100% the opposite of what I felt at that particular show, at that moment, by those particular individuals. This is not an industry thing. This is an individual thing. This is an individual that did something. And you know the internet, guys. You know the internet. Sure enough, the video takes off. What happened when we were in California? You guys remember when I was in California? A lot of you guys know that I was in California. I did a video at a boat ramp. Sure enough, somebody went ahead and said something stupid that was kind of with the R word, right? And then the internet did what the internet did. It went viral, and then all of a sudden I'm getting YouTube to take down a video because of X, Y, and Z or whatever. I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. So the internet did its thing, and you know the internet sees a face, they see something, I don't know how they do it or what they do, but they found everything about the people, like that individual. And all of a sudden now it's become a giant shit show for everybody, right? Because somebody decided to go ahead and give their opinion while we were on camera, and you guys see exactly what happened, right? So we went back to the hatch, and we were hanging out. Robert was there with Sarah, with people he was doing his meet and greet. He had his billionth, okay? Billionth view video with one of his winners to give him a day out on the water. And sure enough, I met them, really nice people. Other people were there that were Robert Arrington Dear Me for Dinners fans, and we hung out. And Robert's like, Robert knew what was going on. He was like, wow, why would people do that? It just doesn't make sense to me, but you know, it is what it is. And speaking of Robert, I mean, thank God for your prayers, because, you know, he had a stroke earlier this year and he's a lot better, okay? He is a lot better, and he still has work to do, but he's doing it, and your prayers have really helped that family. And it's good to see him and Sarah and his kids, right, having a good time. They've had a rough couple months. If you watch their channel, you would understand. So we go hang out at the hatch, and then Robert's like, hey, why don't you come over? And then while he invited us over, it's pouring rain, he had somebody that gave him a little paddle boat. And the paddle boat, he threw it in his lake. He's got a lake, a little lake, like a little pond that he's making, and he's put all these fish and all this stuff. He just bought this huge property. He moved from Jupiter, and he moved up there to that area. Like, I would say, well, whatever. I'm not gonna say, but it's up there, right? I don't want to dox Robert here, you know, and I don't want to make this about it, but it was such a, it was like the universe was telling me, hey, Alfred, this was supposed to happen, and you needed to be here after what just happened to you. And Robert and Sarah were put in my way and our way after it was something that really was sucked for us, to remind us that, hey, listen, that's just an isolated incident, bro. It's all right. I got on the paddleboard with him. We helped bring it down. Yours truly did a sea trial on that used paddleboat that was given by a beautiful couple that were there. Me and Robert got on the paddleboat, and we did a sea trial, paddling, and yours truly took a swim. I went bloop, bloop, bloop. It happened, guys. I fell in the water. But it was good. It was almost like I got baptized after a bad day, and I needed that. And I forgot everything else. I was wet the entire day. After that, we went to Robert's house. He gave me a shirt. He gave me 3 shirts. I met some of their pets, and we just talked, and it was just, like I said, a reminder of, hey, there's good people out there. It's all right. You're doing what you do. No harm, no foul. I did not want to go and have that scenario happen. I did not want it to happen, but it had to happen for whatever reason. So it's out there. That's what happened. Big shout out to the Arringtons. I hopefully have to go back at some point to Robert and Sarah's house, because Robert asked me to help him with a project that he's doing. So I have a mission. Maybe I'll have you guys help me with that mission locally. And when I go back, I'm going to bring him back a shirt, Sarah a shirt, and the kids a shirt, his girls, so they can have their Fred the Croc shirts available. And yeah, there might be a point that video will come down, because the point that I needed to make was made, and the point for me was basically like, hey, look, there's a lot of people that I've actually connected with throughout the years here that have a lot of rapport with me and trust me and know my heart, which it's weird for me to say that. I'm talking behind a camera right now in the mangroves, knee deep in water, and I'm saying, wow, these people know my heart. From the Whiskey Throttle cruise that we've done, that I invited my subscribers in this year. I got to know you guys, because it's always kind of like a one way for a creator. You experience one thing one way, and that's it. So, like I said, if the video goes down, I took it down. Nobody took it down. I took it down. I took it down because, first and foremost, people make mistakes, and I don't want this guy to be out there with all this dirt back there, and I don't want it to be a problem for him or his family. He made a mistake. People make mistakes all the time. I did a poll on my Instagram, and people were like, "Hey, leave it up there." But I also don't think it's fair for people to attack people like Andres, who don't have malice, true intentions of malice, to hurt manufacturers. I really believe that he was doing that for the better of the industry. And I see it. I see it when we film. When we film boat shows, the camera does all the talking. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing. I'm filming what you guys are seeing. And there's times that manufacturers will tell us, "Hey, Alfred, listen, this boat's not ready. It's not done. We just want you to know it's not done. Hey, don't worry about it. We're good. We want to see what's out there." So I do appreciate you. That's how it went down. And yeah, like I said, maybe watch that video before it comes down. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. It's something I'll pray on, right? Because it does affect me when you all of a sudden you get all these unique viewers on your channel, and then all of a sudden you remove them on an algorithm base, and all of a sudden they're like, "Wait a second, why is this guy removing this?" But like I said, I don't want to have something lingering on someone when it was just a mistake. And I get it. He was probably protecting a friend. He was helping a friend. He was probably disappointed because he thought it probably was somebody singling out his friend. We don't single people out. And I'll say that on behalf of Andres, because I've been around Andres enough as of late to understand the way he sees the things, okay? So that's that. I do appreciate you guys. I came over here. It's a slow day. The tide is high. The wind was out. People were scared. I wish it could have been a Chit show, guys. But if there's anything I'll say, and my advice to anybody, if you're a little guy or a big guy that that you see somebody with a camera, just remember that they're there to do something for the world. They feel like they can tell their story, and that's okay. And sometimes the story that they tell might disagree. It might be different from the one you want to be told, right? I get that. So my last words, while I put this lens on that beautiful flag: don't call me tomorrow.